Hey guys, Teresa here. Welcome back to my channel, Lost My Thread. I'm here today to share my spring sewing plans. It is the beginning of spring, which is my favorite time of year. I really do love this time of year. It feels so invigorating and inspiring to be moving from like the cold dark into the warm and bright. I feel like in springtime, I love all the fabrics that we start to use. I see a lot more bright colors around. I really love sewing and wearing linen fabrics, viscose fabrics, cotton lawn fabrics. And it's really exciting when I get to start thinking about what I want to make for this new season coming. I have 4 projects, technically 5 projects that I'm going to share with you guys. As always, it is not an exhaustive list of everything that I'm planning to sew in the spring, but it is some highlights, some things that I'm particularly excited about that I want to share with you. The first project I'm going to share is a Cashmerette Club pattern. Now I have mentioned I'm a Cashmerette Club member, fully paid member, and I want to sew at least 3 of their patterns from the club this year because I do get all the patterns and I get excited, but I don't always sew them up. So this time I want to include in my spring sewing plans the wynvale dress and tunic. Specifically, I'm interested in making the dress version. This was something that as soon as I saw it release, I think it was a February release, I fell in love and I knew that I wanted to make it up. It is a shirt dress, but it is definitely a very unique shirt dress and it has some particular design details that I'm really excited about. So this has all the like classic shirt details. So there's a collar with a collar stand. There are cuffs, but what's interesting with this one, so it has a button placket, but the button is below the cuff and the intention is that the cuff gets folded back, which to me looks quite 70s and I think it looks really cool and fun. There is a lot of shaping going on with this dress, which is what really drew me to it. So I would say it has kind of like a relaxed fit to it, but it definitely is shaped. It's not just kind of, shapeless. It's not boxy by any means. There are bust darts. There are also fisheye darts at both the front and the back, so you can get a little bit of shaping at the waist there. And there is also an adjustable tie at the back. What I really like about that is you can tie that as tight as you want to, so that can give you as much shaping as you want around the waist. But I feel like whenever I try to get shaping around the waist of a shirt dress, it's usually by adding a tie belt, which adds a little bit extra at the front. I like the clean, sleek look of this at the front with that shaping going on, and I think the tie looks pretty cute at the back as well. There is a back yoke with some gathering underneath, which is a really nice feminine touch. There is also a curved hem, quite a deep curve to the hem. I feel like this, to me, it's similar to other shirt dresses that I've seen that I knew were going to be quite tricky to fit to my body, but Cashmerette just does it for me, which is amazing. So Cashmerette, if you are not familiar, has quite a large, extensive size range with a whole range of bust cup sizes as well. So I know that in general, there's going to be very little fitting having to go on with this. So I will make a muslin because I want to make it as good as I can, but I'm really excited about this. And when I saw it, the first thing I thought was, I want a linen version of this dress. And at the Stitch Festival that I went to last month, I had my eye out for some linen and I managed to pick up this Irish linen. This color, I will say, it's more like bubblegummy pink than I usually go for, but I was really drawn to it. And I double checked with both my husband and my sewing friend who were with me to say, like, do you think this is a good color for me? We got some photos and I kind of held it up to myself. They both agreed it was a good color for me, and my husband actually mentioned that I used to wear this color more than I do. I've been tending to wear more of like millennial pink, they call it, like a more browny pink, which I do still really like, but I also like this more kind of punchy bright pink color, and I think this would be so amazing in that shirt dress. Oh my god, I forgot to mention the coolest detail with this shirt dress, the button placket. So usually when you're making a button placket, you have, placket that's like the outside and the inside, and the buttonhole side, you stitch your buttonholes on. This is created in a really cool way, constructed in this really cool way, where it's basically like folded, 2 sections folded in with a little gap left open for the buttonhole. So that's what creates the buttonhole. So you don't actually do any buttonhole stitching. It's just created within the placket. Hopefully you guys can see from the pictures and you can understand. I'm super curious to see how this comes together. Like I said, this shirt dress has just some really interesting, unique details about it that I'm really excited about. So I'm looking forward to getting this one sewn up. I think this one will be on the sooner side because it's long sleeve, but being linen, so it's 100% linen, I feel like it will work really well, to be honest, in a lot of like the warmer months as well. Now I will say this is a really great weight. I would say it's like a medium weight Irish linen. I love Irish linen in general, and I feel like this is going to be so comfortable, so breathable, and just a really nice little punch of color in my wardrobe. I have also been wanting to get some more like classic button-up shirts in my wardrobe. When I was looking at things on my Pinterest board of what I was hoping to get into my style, that was definitely something that I saw again and again. And I love the idea of having a cotton lawn button-up shirt that's a pretty classic button-up shirt. And so I decided I want to remake one that I've made a couple versions of before, which is the Birdie button-up by Pattern Scout. Now this has quite a lot of optional details going on. So there's two views, and you can obviously pick and choose things from the two views. I want to go for the classic shirt one, which is view A. There are bust darts in this one, and again, there's a bit of just subtle shaping at the waist. For a shirt, I don't want it to be overly fitted, so I feel like that is really just like the perfect amount of fitting for me. This also has very much the classic collar stand, but cuff with button placket or sleeve placket. But I will say this is quite a deep cuff, and there's like a double button on there. I feel like it looks really sleek and professional with the version that I've made in the past. And I know that in general, I do really like how it fits. There is a bit of a curved hem to this one as well. The difference I'm gonna make from my previous version is one of the sleeve options is to have a bishop sleeve, so just a bit more fullness before it goes into the cuff. And I think that would work really well, just to add a little bit something different with this. So it is a classic shirt, but it's got something just a little bit more feminine going on. I didn't want to go too over the top. I didn't want to go for the pin tucks with this fabric. The fabric that I have chosen, I got from the Sister Mintaka stall at the Stitch Festival. So these are definitely very much Stitch Festival makes, nearly all of them. And it's a Liberty Tonalon. Now this is a fabric that is on the pricier end, and I saw it and I was like, do I really want to splurge on this? Would I really love this shirt? And I decided to have a little wander around, see if I saw anything else, and I decided in the end, you know what? I just love this fabric too much. This is it. So the colors on here to me are everything. Like that is what it is about this that I love. I will say Liberty quite often is a lot of like pastels, and I feel like the scale of the flowers are sometimes a little bit more tiny. This one I feel like is a great scale of the flowers. All these colors are colors that I have in my wardrobe, or I think would really complement the things in my wardrobe and pop really well. I think the weight of this, the movement, the airiness of it will be so, so perfect for that shirt, particularly with that bishop sleeve. I think it's going to be so gorgeous, and I am really excited to have this one sewn up. I think it's going to pair with so many bottoms in my wardrobe and very much feel like the inspiration that I was looking at. Now, keeping on the button-up train, because that is clearly where my heart is at the moment, I want to make another version of the Cameron button-up by Helen's Closet. I made this in January, I think it was, and I really do love the version that I made. I think it is so, so pretty, but I do think I need to work on the fit a little bit. So the idea of the Cameron button-up, it's a very like classic, this one's the most classic button-up shirt. There are no darts in this one. There is no shaping. It's a very boxy fit, and I feel like it works well with like lighter drapier type fabrics, particularly just for my style. And it does have the collar with collar stand, button with button placket. I really love the sleeve placket construction on this one. I feel like it was really clever. There's a really interesting construction of the main button placket as well. I feel like making this one was really satisfying. So I want to play around with the sizing on this one. It needs to come in at the shoulder. The sleeves need to be a bit shorter, but I feel like my first version, I still wear it and love it, but it's just a good starting point, kind of a launching off point. And what I had been thinking was, again, a linen version of this would be so nice to have as like a layering piece in the spring and the summer, but also I can just wear it on its own. And I saw the most incredible linen at the Stitch Festival. Again, this is another Irish linen. It was from a different stall, but this color is so gorgeous. It has almost like a slight sheen to it. The movement on this fabric, just when I was seeing them like laying it around and draping it to like cut it, I was just so mesmerized by it. Now this one, as you can see, it is a bit see-through, so it's a little sheer. I need to be careful with this one. I might not get away with wearing this without like a little cami or tank top underneath, which I definitely can do if I'm wearing it on its own. But obviously if it's worn as a layer, then no problem anyway. We'll have to see when I wear it, but I will say I really do think either way, it is so soft. It is so lovely. I am going to absolutely love having this one in my summer wardrobe, in my spring wardrobe, in my fall wardrobe. I'll see if I can sneak it into winter, but it's probably a little bit too lightweight for that. But I think this is going to be such a great classic option to have. And I feel like it will go with so many things, this color. And yeah, I can't stop looking at this color. Well and truly, I love it. And if any of you are out there thinking, well, that's great to have all these tops, but what about the bottoms to go with them? Just wait, I have a Clash of the Pattern series that's going to be coming soon that is going to be taking care of the bottom half. And last but certainly not least, I have a two-piece set that I want to make that for me is all about the fabric. So last year I went to Merchant and Mills and I bought myself this festival linen, which I am truly in love with. The colors on there are stunning. They are so beautiful. I love the contrast. I love each of the colors individually, but I love how they play off each other. I think this is going to be such a fun set to wear, and this is definitely one that I think will go across various seasons as well. So when I bought this, I very much had the intention of making a top and a skirt with it, and I did go a little bit back and forth about what to make, and I've decided to go with a top and skirt version of the holyoke dress and maxi skirt by Cashmerette. This is not a Cashmerette Club pattern. This is just a Cashmerette pattern that I have purchased that I really like the look of. The skirt, which is one of the options that it gives you, is a button front skirt with princess seams in the front and the back. So again, a nice bit of shaping going on there. This has a flat front and an elastic back waistband, which makes it really nice and comfortable. And when you want to sit down and move around, you're going to have a little bit more flexibility and mobility there. There are inseam pockets on this skirt as well, and I feel like on its own, it's gorgeous, and I would very much wear that with this. I love the idea of having a maxi two-piece set, so like a maxi skirt with a top as well. I did think about making the dress, but I feel like I like both the idea of having separates, but also wearing the separates together with like a bit of a faux dress look. It doesn't have to look like a dress. I kind of like that you can look, if you look more closely, that it's actually two pieces, but at first glance it might look like a dress. To me, that is quite a fun idea for my outfit. Now the top, I will be basically hacking this bodice into a top, which I did do. I think it was 2 Me Made Mays ago. I had bought this pattern and I was thinking about making it, and I thought, well, why don't I just muslin the bodice portion using some fabric that's left over from another dress that I'm now cutting up, that I'm kind of upcycling. I wasn't like 100% spot on with the fit for that one, but my shape has changed anyway and I've gone up a size, and so I'd probably want to start over with a new muslin for this anyway. But when I made that version, I kept the waistband in with the elastic at the back, although I think I didn't keep the elastic in the finished version. But basically I wanted to just see what that fit was like. And even though it wasn't perfect, there was so much that I really liked about it. So I really did love the straps, where the straps sat. I liked the thickness of it. So they are bra-friendly straps, they say, which definitely it is. The neckline is a bit of an angled neckline, and it's almost like a sweetheart neckline, but not quite. I think it's really pretty, and I like that it's not too low cut. I feel like it sits in a really nice place for me. It is going to be button front as well, so I am really into the idea of like a button front top over a button front skirt. I've been really enjoying playing around with that in my wardrobe already, and I think with the two-piece set it will be particularly cool. Now this bodice has princess seams. What I will do instead of having the waistband on this is I'm just going to basically extend the bodice section a bit further down so that it will sit kind of at my high hip. So similar to like the dress or the top version that I made previously, but without that additional seam at the waistband. Now, again, one of the reasons why I was like not sure about this pattern, I was thinking about what pattern to use for this fabric, is I am aware that princess seams are going to cut up the pattern on this fabric. But I feel like If it is symmetrical left and right, kind of like similar look of how it's cut up, as long as everything lines up on the horizontal plane, then I'm really happy with that. And I feel like it just emphasizes the different fabrics a little bit more to cut it up and play around with that and add the extra seams. I feel like it's going to add rather than take away from all the pattern and color on this fabric. I didn't want to have that waistband though. I felt like that was probably just a little bit too much of breaking everything up. But I think it's going to be a really cool and really interesting set to wear. This linen fabric is amazing. I love Merchant & Mills linen so much. It is a medium weight, so it's not going to be too see-through or anything. And I know that it's going to get softer with over time with washing, because that's what's happened to my previous Merchant & Mills linen. It feels wonderful. It looks so fun and bright. I think this is going to be a big favorite of mine, and I am looking forward to pairing both the top and the skirt with other items in my wardrobe, because these colors are really so good. I feel like they're pretty similar colors to the floral Liberty fabric that I was looking at as well. But yeah, I think this is going to be a really fun and bright set. Now you can see across the board there are definitely some themes. There's a lot of linen going on. I feel like I'm really getting into my linen at the moment, and there's a lot of buttons going on as well. So I'm definitely gonna have some decisions to make with my button choices. I have made decisions with some, but I might throw some up in my community tab if you guys wanna help me like pick out buttons, vote on button choice. But I think overall, this is very much a style that I'm gravitating toward, and I think all of these are gonna be really amazing to wear from the spring right on into the summer. Please do tell me in the comments down below what your spring sewing plans are looking like, or autumn sewing plans if you're in the Southern Hemisphere. It's always really nice and fun to hear what other people are getting excited about this time of year. I would also love to hear if there are any of the ideas that I have that are giving you any particular inspiration, or if you have any particular thoughts or experience with the patterns that I'm using, the things that I'm hoping to make up. I do feel really excited about my plans. Who knows if I'll manage to get them all done in the spring, but I do feel pretty inspired, so I'm hoping that I'm going to be pushing through these. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up down below. If you want to see all these gorgeous fabrics sewn into garments, please make sure you're subscribed to my channel, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye!